All right. We are talking in this wonderful winter month of January. Crafting irresistible offers is week 2 of 4. And here's a problem that arises with crafting irresistible offer. You'll know these problems are arising sometimes if you find yourself being ghosted. All right. We are talking in this wonderful winter month of January. Crafting irresistible offers is week 2 of 4. And here's a problem that arises with crafting irresistible offer. You'll know these problems are arising sometimes if you find yourself being ghosted. Man, the first call went great. We hit it off. They said yes, and then I don't know where they went. They're no longer talking to me, or man, I'm reaching out to people and they'll give one response and then they just disappear. This can be a sign that your marketing, your content, your offer is just not oozing with irresistibility. Another problem can be just loss of passion. You've lost your passion, you've lost your conviction. It's not the same. You're past the honeymoon phase of your offer. And how many know that conviction is so important? Like, we want to buy confidence. None of us want to go on another demo call or go through another funnel where there's not like that energy, conviction, and belief that this is the way. You're right. Like, can you imagine Mandalorian, the character, if he was just like, yeah, I think maybe kind of will like go conquer and win? It's like, no, this is the way. So it's just pure confidence, conviction. It does matter. And it's not to be manufactured, it's to be studied, understood. And when you find the right button, it doesn't actually take effort, it just takes focus and clarity. And we're going to cover some of that today. Maybe you find this, it's like you can see it. It's how easy is it to see other people's problems? You're like, clearly, like, this is the problem, and they're like, I just can't see it, I don't get it. And maybe you find yourself frustrated with your offer. You're like, the reason you haven't closed a sales call is because you haven't taken one in over 3 months. That's why. It's so obvious, it's so easy, but they're like, I don't, what do you mean though? Like, they should just be coming in. You're like, if you find yourself kind of frustrated going through those patterns loops, these can be problems and side effects and signs that you don't have an irresistible offer. But here's the promise for today. When you have the right tool for the job, the doors unlock, the sunshine comes in, the cool breeze, refreshing breeze on your face is the answer. And we there's a strategic filter that we use. And so if you just have all your doubts, fears, failures, frustrations, all these like hesitations and roadblocks, and you throw them through this filter, what comes out is only confidence. It's only conviction of stuff that works. And the reason we're so confident in this filter is because we didn't make it up. It's been time tested for decades, for hundreds of years. So that's why it's going to work for you too. This said, it's the pain pleasure matrix. But when we're going to apply this, and this is a filter that I was recently revisiting with our own offer, and I was like, we haven't talked about this for a while. We should revisit this with everyone here so we can all look at our own offers in a new, refreshing way. This 30,000-foot view, here's the pain pleasure matrix. Hopefully you've seen this to some capacity before. On the left side, left column, we have pain. On the right column, we have pleasure. And then you can see in the left-hand column, there's present and future. Now, this said, I get that present pain is, the winner. That's where all the urgency and the fire and the awesomeness is. Please know this. I'm not saying that all the other ones are not valuable. What I'm saying is that pain, I'm putting the emphasis and priority on present pain. We want to figure out how to communicate that and ask questions that trigger and surface present pain. We'll cover some of those today, but with the present pleasure and the future pain and pleasure, these can also be really effective. I would encourage this. I would encourage all of you to figure out, go through this filter. What does your offer sound like through each of these filters? What does each of your offers sound like through each of these filters? Because if you can pull all of these, it's kind of like what was that cartoon? At least when I was a kid, Captain Planet. with these powers combined, we are Captain, like Captain Planet comes there. It's like Earth, wind, fight, like use all of the things. And when they come together, it is the most powerful. Let's practice with these together. All right. So check this out. See, be thinking of your offer, be thinking of different things that you've heard customers say, but when you review it in this filter, roughly where they're at in terms of urgency. And that tells you how far away they are from the sale or not. Okay, so present pain. This is like my house is on fire. I got to get out of here. I need a hose immediately, or this place is coming down. Like there's high urgency. More practically in terms of business, this might sound like I need a deal in 14 days or less, or I need to close the doors. It might also sound like my key employee just left and I've got a backlog of orders and it's growing by the minute. I need support now. That is present pain. And if you solve that pain, you are a painkiller, my friend. You're in the money. You have an irresistible offer. Here, they're going to want to take your money now. A funny story on this one is I haven't shared this for like at least over a year. When we bought the house that we're in now, like it's coming up on 3 years ago, and we rented it for like 4, almost 5 years, somewhere in there. And of course, once you buy the home that you've been in and actually taken good care of, because we always wanted to be the tenant that we hope to have in our real estate portfolio in the coming future. Once you buy it though, why does everything break? It's just like, oh, new ownership. You know what? This is how this is going to go. So I'm giving some presentation, some webinar, and my phone starts blowing up. I'm like, oh my gosh, are my kids okay? What's happening? And it was like, my neighbor, and the neighbor was like, your something's broken. The sprinklers, like there's water everywhere on my yard. I'm like, what? This doesn't even make sense. Apparently one of our sprinkler lines broke, and it's not just like kind of squirting. It's like this rainbow waterfall launching perfectly over the yard, like into my neighbor's yard. I was like, this is so ridiculous. Anyway, it's ridiculous. So if Mr. Lands or Mrs. Landscape, landscaper angel shows up right in that moment, like, that's weird. I happen to see that you're destroying your neighbor's lawn furniture, but I have the perfect tools to fix this right now. Would you like me to fix it? Yes. Yes, I would like you to fix. Like, I'm in current pain. I'm in the middle of a webinar. Like, I help. Like, just whatever costs, like, take my money, go do the thing. That is present pain. I think you guys are totally tracking with me, but that random story came to mind. So you're welcome, or I'm sorry. You can decide. Let's go to the next one. Present pleasure. Present pleasure. This could be as simple as like, hey, I know that you've got a ton of friends because you're really popular and awesome. Like, let's just text one of them right now. Let's just call 2 of them right now, and you get a new gift card. You get, $50 gift card, and they get a $25 gift card if they sign up today. Like, that's present pleasure. And Dropbox is a great example of this, right? If you go refer somebody, you get 5 gigs of storage, and they get 5 gigs of storage added to their account, or something like that, right? So that would be present pleasure, an example of that. Next one would be future pain. Great example of this is life insurance. Future pain, right? That's what a lot of that product is sold off of, future pain. Now, once you go through this filter, side note here, yes, evaluate your own offer. But as you're, if you're like me, and you're consuming, other ads, you're going through other funnels, look at their offers, and classify them as, is it future pleasure? Is it present pain? Like, what are they solving? And then what questions are they asking? And what is their content evoking through this filter? And then you can kind of see what, typically the ones that you see the most are present pain, because that's the most urgent. They get the most clicks. And so it's really fun if you're a business marketing nerd like we are. Got to preface that. If you're not, then maybe it's not as fun. But we think it's cool to like go through this filter and look at it that way. And so future pain, a lot of times with life insurance, what are they selling on? The fear of your loved ones not being taken care of. Like that thought alone creates so much pain that could occur in the future that you don't even want to deal with it, and you can buy, you know, a policy that helps solve that problem. Okay, all right. Next one, future pleasure. Future pleasure. It's vacation time. And here's like this might sound funny. Um, and this let me give you the example and then let's apply it to your offers. Okay, what's so important? And the punchline is simply be sure to sell the vacation and not the process. This is talking about the what and not the how. If you talk about the how and you're confused why you got ghosted, let me make this more clear for you. Imagine you're, selling. Where does somebody want to go? Type in the chat. Where do you want a vacation next? Let's see where you guys want to go. I'm curious. I just talked to some guy at an event. Bora Bora says Sean, that one's good. What else do you guys got? Where's your dream destinations here? I just want to see. I was talking to one guy. He's like, I'm going to Fiji. It's a bucket list. I just had to spend like 10 grand on a round trip ticket and then the hotel. Fiji. All right, we got some more Fiji. Lake Como. Where is that, Mishi? Where is that? Let me know. I'm curious. British Virgin Islands, BVI. Okay. Nice. Italy. Okay, Italy. Cool. No, Northern Italy. Nice. You guys are in the know. All right. So guess what? Congratulations. That's where we're going. And imagine I'm selling you on this great package. You know it's going to cost you. You know it's going to hurt. But the way that I'm approaching it, I was like, this is going to be so great. First, what you're going to do is we're going to book your plane tickets, and it's going to cost a lot. And then once we book them, you're gonna need to pack. So you got to think about all the different clothes that you're gonna wear and what time of year it is, and then all the different excursions you're gonna go through. So you want to make sure that you have all the clothes. So you got to make all those decisions. Next, you're gonna get on the airplane, and you're probably gonna sit next to somebody that's like farting in their seat the whole time, like usual. And it's gonna be really long, and the kids are probably gonna drive you crazy, but it's okay. You're going to get off and then you're going to get on the connecting flight. And then you'll finally be there. When you get off the plane, it's you're going to want to go do something cool, but you can't do that yet because you got to go check in at the hotel. And to get to the hotel, you got to make sure that you book the taxi that's going to drive you over there. Usually it takes a while in this country because the way that their system works. So if you started talking about the how and the process, how motivated are you to go on the vacation right now? that would be the most broke, hungry travel agent on planet Earth, right? Now, while that is extremely absurd, that's what a lot of us are doing in our marketing, in our ads, in our offer. And we wonder why it's not irresistible. And sometimes even Sean and I knowing this and the offers that we put together and how we communicate in content and on sales calls, you just got to catch yourself. That's why we revisit the pain and pleasure matrix from time to time, and it's so powerful. I'm like, oh yeah. And we want to be sharp again in all four buckets. So as I'm finishing up kind of this last quadrant, we're going to go back through these quickly and see what they could actually, what like a good example sounds like, for our offer. Okay. So if we're in future pleasure, that's clearly how not to do it. But admitting what the process is and just focusing on why it even matters sometimes clears that all up. So we're going to BVI, we're going to Lake Como, we're going to Bora Bora, these different locations. And is it going to be worth it? Hell yeah, it's going to be worth it. Of course it's going to be worth it. Okay, but now look, we both know this is going to cost you probably more than you want to spend. And travel is never a fun thing. Okay. But look, anything worthwhile is worth fighting for. And when the warm sun hits your face and you feel that sand between your toes and that cold breeze refreshes your soul and you get recharged, we both know that's where the inspiration comes from. That's where the breakthrough comes from. And it's the thing that pays you back more than you can even calculate. And that's exactly why everyone else does it. And you're going to benefit from it as well. And so when we start talking about just selling the actual future pleasure, it becomes powerful. Now, that is hard to close because when you're coming to the logical close and you still got to cut the check, right? You got to wrestle with the other present pain. Well, we just got past the holidays. We already traveled and spent extra and more than we did on gifts. And so it's not typically the place that we want to play in. It's not as urgent as present pain, but it can still be valuable because sometimes selling the dream, you don't want to ignore selling the dream. Okay. So let's do this. You guys with me on these examples? We're going to transition to Q&A here in just a second, but as I'm summarizing and recapping, we'll go in the reverse order, because when like Captain Planet, when you bring all these things together, it becomes really, really powerful. It doesn't mean that you use all of these all the time. It means that you're prepared to use them whenever you need them. That's the difference. Okay. So we want you guys to be prepared with the pain pleasure matrix for whenever you need them, so you can close the most deals as possible. All right, going in reverse order, selling the dream, and we'll use FlowChat because we're all familiar with that. Selling the dream is having a sales system and process and team that is generating revenue while you are not involved. So, and this is one example. I'll never and then, okay, that's okay, cool. Irresistible result, which when you're talking about irresistible results and it makes your offer irresistible. I'll never forget the day that I opened my laptop and the 3+ hours of prospecting that I once was doing was already done. And I saw the spreadsheet, I saw the activity, I saw the cards move through the pipeline, and it was like, I didn't do it this time, but it still happened. Game over. My life changed forever. I'm never going back. That's a dream and a vision for 99% of agency owners and most business owners. Right? And if you are one, and if you're not the right fit, then it's not the right fit. Right? These are designed not for everybody, but they're designed for our ideal customer profile. Okay, let's move to future pain. Future pain. If we're having this conversation, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Business Owner, you're struggling with your outbound sales process, okay? And it's creating all the strife in your life. It's unpredictable sales. It's affecting your marriage and your household because your emotional swings. So it's creating some serious and real damage. Now, if we have this conversation, if we're having the same conversation and nothing changes in 3 years from now, how is that going to make you feel? And you guys have heard this framework before, I'm assuming, I'm hoping, right? Future pain. So what I'm doing is I'm taking, the thought of in the future, her not changing, to be like, oh my gosh. So I'm evoking future pain so that I can say, ooh, now let's do something about it today so we don't end up there. That is one very strong and powerful proper example of future pain being applied. Okay. So, and you can, use that framework and insert your thing. Like it's so easy to apply. Okay. Let's talk about present pleasure. Present pleasure. Can I talk about that one? I live in the future and the present. I've seen multiple versions of FlowChat. I always been trying to remember which ones I can say. Present pleasure with FlowChat. We can do this one. Here's one I can share that we're okay. This isn't live. This isn't real. Okay, yet, but this would be a great example. Is if you gamifying your onboarding process. Let's go down that path. Sorry, I know I had one prepped for you guys, but as I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, this would be more valuable for you. Once you close somebody, because this goes into the assumptive close. Once you close somebody, you're going to onboard them, correct? So if you can do the handhold close and you can gamify your onboarding process, you can add in present pleasure. So what does that sound like at FlowChat? Hey, when you sign up today, here is the template that you wanted, the sales process with all the SOPs. I'm getting a thumbs up over here. You guys seeing this? When you sign up today, the pipeline, all the SOPs, instruction, the exact thing that you saw and liked and wanted in your business, when you say yes today, that is automatically going to be added to your account. And you're going to go over that in your onboarding call. You with me? So when you're on your sales calls or you're pitching your offer, you make the pleasure just one click away. All you say yes, you swipe the card, you hit the submit button, you opt in, whatever the thing is, your call to action for the next step in the sales process, boom, and you're instantly going to add it. That would be a good example of present pleasure being used properly. All right. Last one here that we have is present pain. Present pain. There's, man, one ad I've been seeing running for forever, for so long, is just like, hey, do you want 20 clients right now? How many let's be real, how many make money ads you guys see a day? Like, it's like almost all of them. So yeah, present pain is talking about that quick fix. Hey, here's how I got 10 grand in 3 days. I did this one little marketing hack. Here's how I unlocked my Facebook group with this one follow-up message, type scripts to get the script. These are examples of present pain. And here's how I can give you the painkiller. Like, if you have this, it can make that go away. But I'm not talking about, all the things you have to do. I'm talking about the pain that you're currently thinking about. Does that make sense? Okay. We beat these up. I feel pretty good. This is the pain pleasure matrix. It's really great. Just do what I just did. Sit with your offer. I gave you some examples for some momentum, right? But as you're looking through this, what is the pain and the pleasure of your offer? And what does it feel like and sound like when in your world? What do your people care about, and what are they motivated by?